Oh, and Snoopy.
You gotta take her, Snoopy.
30-year-old Ming Ming Chen is brought into a police interrogation room after investigators discovered the body of her 5-year-old daughter hidden in a Jackson Township restaurant owned by Chen and her husband. The couple had reported their daughter, Ashley Zhao, missing a day earlier, prompting a frantic search by Stark County authorities. Early on in the interrogation, Ming Ming Chen claimed she had no idea how her daughter died. The lead detective takes note of the fact that Chen showed no emotion upon learning the devastating news that her daughter was dead.
Ashley Zhao was a 5-year-old girl who disappeared while at her family's restaurant in North Canton, Ohio, early January of 2017. Reported missing by her parents, Father Liang and Mother Ming Ming told arriving officers that Ashley might have wandered out the back door when they weren't paying attention. Both parents were of immediate interest to authorities because of their guarded and suspicious behavior surrounding their daughter's disappearance. Ming Ming had moved to USA from China illegally, a kind of last resort move to try and escape growing political tensions on her homeland that she was directly a casualty of. Ming Ming was a practitioner of Falun Gong, an ultra-conservative group based on spiritualistic values that was founded in the 1990s. Practitioners of Falun Gong were openly vocal about their radical and closed views on things like modern medicine, scientific concepts like evolution, and importantly, they were fiercely opposed to China's government, the CCP, or the Chinese Communist Party. Much of Falun Gong based its infrastructure around the foundations of the things it opposed, including the CCP, and as its influence grew, so did its detractors inside the Communist Party. Ultimately, practice of Falun Gong was all but outlawed, and in 1999, hundreds of thousands of Falun Gong practitioners were arrested by security forces and taken to prison. There, they would undergo horrific reconditioning attempts by the CCP, all in a bid to eradicate Falun Gong and, as such, stop the imminent uprising the CCP foresaw. Ming Ming Chen was one of those arrested. They subjected her to countless atrocities, telling her she could go free if she signed a document stating she would quit practice of Falun Gong. Ming Ming denied and was held captive for an extended period. She was eventually released, and she immediately sought asylum abroad, making her way to South America and paying an immigrant smuggler $65,000 to bring her to the United States. Ming Ming spoke very little, if any, English, although she found refuge within the Chinese community once on American soil, finding work at an Asian restaurant to survive. There, she would eventually meet her future husband, Liang. Ming Ming and Liang would marry and move into a modest, although well-kept apartment building on Sunset Strip in Jackson Township, and would eventually open their own restaurant in Canton, Ang's Asian Restaurant. It wasn't long before they would welcome their first daughter into their lives, and a year after that, another. The two sisters could not have been any more different than each other. The eldest daughter, who will remain nameless, was quiet and reserved, and her upbringing was mostly uneventful. Ashley, however, who was born on December 30th, 2011, was full of curiosity, wonder at the world, and, importantly, was learning fresh defiance with her passage from the fearsome fours into the furious fives. Although never officially confirmed, it's been speculated that perhaps Ashley was on the spectrum, exhibiting many of the symptoms that autism can bring about, and left unchecked or diagnosed, these symptoms can very easily become major problems for both the child and the parents. Neighbors of Liang and Ming Ming at their Sunset Strip apartment thought the family as friendly and quiet, although they mostly kept to themselves and were pretty private people. The truth is, behind those closed doors, things were far worse than the family let on. While allegedly a present father, Liang was also allegedly violent and had a very bad temper. He would take the stresses of his life out on his landlocked wife, who would later claim that Liang was vicious in his patriarchy. Liang and Ming Ming claimed to be experiencing unusual amounts of stress frequently, and upholding the responsibilities of their popular restaurant and parenting their child proved to be too much. They would leave their daughters with their grandparents for the lion's share of the week. January 9th, 2017, Liang and Ming Ming call 911 to report that their daughter Ashley was nowhere to be found.
Jackson Township Police.
Hi, yes, I need some help.
Okay, where are you at?
4924 Portage Street.
4924 Portage?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
I can't find my daughter.
Okay, how old is she?
5. She just turned 5. Jojo, stop it.
Okay, and you're at Ames?
Thanks, yeah.
When's the last time you seen her?
This afternoon, probably.
Around what time?
3, maybe 4.
So you haven't seen her in 5 hours?
You saw her in 5?
What was she wearing?
Oh, okay. What?
What was she wearing?
She's wearing a purple winter coat. I don't know what those things are called, but they're not jeans. They're like,
Like leggings?
Yeah.
What color were they?
Grayish.
Okay, and you haven't seen her in 5 hours?
About, yeah. I mean, she was there sleeping. I mean, you know.
Where was she sleeping at? In the restaurant?
Yeah. She was sleeping there, and I picked up my older daughter from school. We all saw her sleeping there. So, and you know, we went to work, and you know, we let her sleep. We got busy, and then after it got busy, you know, we started cleaning up, and then you know, we opened the door and she's not here.
Hold on 1 second, okay? Okay, sir, what's your name?
Liang Zhao.
Okay, do you have any videos or anything in there where you can see a video, see if she was laying there?
No. We don't have any security camera in there. It's just in the restaurant. We've been here for 6 years. We never had security cameras here.
Okay.
So we saw her, like all of us, like my wife, myself, and my older daughter. When we came back, when I picked up my older daughter from school, we saw her there sleeping.
Okay, and so was there any suspicious people that came in at all? Do you think she could have woke up and ran out somewhere?
I have no idea. I mean, she was sleeping in the back. It's kind of hard to say when she was.
None of your employees have seen her?
There's only 2 of us, just myself and my wife. There's nobody else in the restaurant. There's only 3 people in the restaurant.
When you guys left, who was there with you? Like, who was there with your daughter when you guys left to go get your other kids from school?
My wife. I go pick her up myself. My wife is here in the restaurant. But when we came back, she's here. Like, my wife is here. The restaurant's open. The restaurant's always open. I usually open up. I drop my daughter off. I'm sorry. I drop my daughter off at school in the morning, and then we come here to open up.
Well, right now, though, like, when you left, you said you, your wife, and your daughter left to go pick up your daughter from school?
No, I didn't say that. I said my wife is here all the time.
Okay, and your wife hasn't seen her either since around 4 or 5 o'clock?
Okay. I think when we picked, I'm sorry, what I meant was myself, okay? When I went to pick up my daughter, when we came back, myself and my daughter, not my wife. My wife was here the whole time. When we came back.
So your wife hasn't seen her since around the 4 or 5 o'clock either?
Yes. I mean, 我们回到要看一下命啊. She says she's not sure before we got busy. Usually we get these around 4 or 5 o'clock. That's the best time we can, you know, like.
That's right. What's your daughter's name?
Ashley.
Okay. All right, my officer's outside if you want to go and meet my officer at the door, okay?
He's here right now?
Yeah, he's already outside.
In the front or the back?
He should be in the front.
Okay, all right. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
January 10th, and a statewide endangered child alert is issued. During the initial investigation, both Liang and Ming Ming acted suspiciously, sidestepping questions and giving unclear answers. At first, authorities thought this might be in part to a language barrier, However, late in the evening on January 10th, while police were surveying the restaurant, they made a grisly discovery. The body of 5-year-old Ashley, wrapped and hidden in the restaurant kitchen, close to the walk-in freezer. She was badly beaten, with fatal blunt force trauma to her head. Both Liang and Ming Ming were arrested and brought in for interrogation, and under very little pressure, Ming Ming would confess to murdering her daughter.
And Snoopy.
You gotta take her, Snoopy. I know that you're not crying. You said I don't have nothing left. Isn't that what you told me? You don't have no tears left. You don't have nothing left. Ming Ming, your daughter's dead. What happened? How did she die?
Just kill her, and then she died.
Did you hit her?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you hit her?
How?
Yeah.
Use hand to do that?
Okay.
I told my husband to take care of it.
Okay. So you're telling me that you told your husband?
I told my husband to take care of it. I need to take care of everything from the restaurant. I only have 2 hands. I'm not 4 hands girl. I'm 2 hands. I don't want to do that to Ashley, but you can control yourself sometimes.
Ming Ming would tell Liang about Ashley's death and told him he had to hide the body. According to Liang, however, when he found Ashley, she was lying on the floor with head injuries and a green fluid coming out of her mouth. Liang claimed he brought her to the bathroom to clean the fluid from her face, but by the time he got there, Ashley had stopped breathing. He claimed to try and perform CPR, but was unsuccessful. It was then that he hid the body in the restaurant. The full-length interrogation of Ming Ming is not publicly available, or at least in the avenues and repositories I searched. But here is Liang's full interview with the police.
What happened yesterday morning?
Okay, yesterday morning, we got up, we prepped JoJo for school. I took JoJo to school. I came back. When I came back, my wife was very angry at Ashley because she peed on her diaper and she pooped on her diaper. I know this doesn't sound like a big deal, but she's 5 years old and she's not potty trained, like, ever. And I'll explain that a little later. But so that got my wife angry and, said a few things like, you're just old, you're 5 years old, you still don't know how to go potty and poopy. And, my wife was in the room and she was outside in the living room. And after she pooped and potty in a diaper, my wife knows that she has issues with potty training, so she was going, it's fine, but then she took off her diaper again. So that got my wife angry. And, so, when you're 5 years old, you still don't know how to poop and potty. And my wife got angry and hit her head on the carpet, 2 times. And initially she was breathing. She was still breathing then. And
Did you see your wife do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was home at that time.
What time was it about?
Usually after I drop off at 9-ish. I can't say approximately because I don't look at a time. Oh, my wife is banging Ashley said on the carpet. It was 9:15. 9-ish, 9:15, I guess.
Okay. And so, right then, she wasn't breathing?
No, she was breathing. She was breathing, and I was like, okay, so she's still breathing. She's okay.
Was there any blood or anything?
No, there's no blood.
Was she walking?
No, she wasn't walking. She was breathing, but she was lying down, and I thought she was going to come out of it in a little bit, So she stopped, but I didn't realize she stopped. I thought she was breathing normally now because she was gasping like. like, it was, I can't really remember or recall exactly what, but it was a lot heavier than normal. So it sounded like a snore almost. So at that point she stopped. I thought, okay, so she's breathing normally now. So didn't really pay attention to it. And then a little later, I went to, hold her and just didn't feel right. And I checked her heart. It stopped beating. So I started panicking and I tried to do CPR on her, try to breathe in her mouth and give her chest compressions. I don't exactly know how long I did that for. I know I did it for a pretty darn long time, maybe 15 minutes to a half an hour, something like that. And that's when we realized she's gone. Like I tried, and I told my wife so kind of, I think if I just realized it sooner, that when she stopped breathing, that snore sound, her heart stopped bleeding. Her heart stopped breathing her heart stopped beating at that time. Maybe I could have started compression then. It would have saved her or something. I don't know. I know that I didn't start directly right after because I thought she was breathing normally then.
When she was on the floor, you thought she was breathing?
Yeah. When she wasn't doing that snoring sound anymore, I thought she was breathing normally. I thought she was going to come out of it in like a little bit.
How long did she lay on the floor after
hitting the carpet?
Yeah.
2-3 minutes, making that sound. No, it was much longer than that. We actually took her to the bathroom because she was vomiting. We took her to the bathroom and she vomited. So we vomited in the toilet, and then she got vomit all over, so we took her and rinsed her off in the bath, take her out. So she must have been breathing like that for about a good 5 minutes at least.
Okay.
At least. Because she was like, this green stuff came out. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like greenish, like light greenish tint.
Out of her vomit?
Yeah. So we took her to the bathroom and we thought maybe get rid of that. And then she got it all over herself, so we rinsed her off, took her to the living room to dress her, and she was still breathing like that for a while. So overall, probably 5.
Were her eyes open? Was she responding?
Yeah, she was like overall, after she hit the carpet, she was probably breathing for another 5 to 10 minutes. Considering that, took her to the bathroom, had vomit on her, rinse her off, then put clothes on her, and then let her sit there for a while, and then I noticed that she started, she was breathing irregularly again. So when I thought she was breathing regularly, and then checked her, and then I realized that her heart stopped. Then that's when I started doing the compressions. I did for a while, and then we started panicking. We didn't know what to do. First thing that came to my mind was, I'm going to lose JoJo, and my family's going to fall apart.
Who's JoJo?
My older daughter.
Your oldest daughter?
Yeah.
Did
JoJo's in school.
You or your wife tell each other to call 911?
I told her to go pick up JoJo, and I was going to stay here and call 911.
Well, why would you pick JoJo up?
Huh?
Why would you pick JoJo up?
I was going to tell her to go pick JoJo up, and I was going to call 911.
Why? School wasn't over. Right? It wasn't early, right?
No.
Well, this is 9:15 in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay. Does she not go full?
No, she goes full day. I was going to tell my wife to go pick her up, so I was going to call 911 and tell her that it was an accident, so my wife wouldn't be there.
So what happened?
We talked about it.
Talked about what?
She said that, we're both afraid. We're both afraid what's going to happen if we call.
Okay.
I wanted to set her away so that, I'll be there. If someone gets in trouble, it'll be me, and she'll be okay. And I kind of wish it didn't happen this way. Now both of us are in really big trouble. But yeah, I wanted to send her away and, call the police. But then, both of us were afraid of what was going to happen. If we did, we were afraid that we're going to lose our daughter, we're going to lose our family, the restaurant, the house, that we're getting everything in our lives that we worked so hard for the past 6 years. This was going to be gone.
Okay.
So that fear led us that, it's an accident, so.
Okay, so what happened? I mean, she's lying there, she's not breathing. Well, what happened then?
We couldn't decide what to do, and, after a while, we decided, both of us, I don't know exactly who came up with what, but, we should bring her to the restaurant so JoJo can see her. So JoJo, when you guys ask her, I was thinking maybe that wasn't a good idea, but I wasn't thinking clearly at the time. So, bring her to the restaurant so JoJo can see her, so that when we call, JoJo can say, oh, she was here at the restaurant and she left the back door at the restaurant instead of, at the house. She accidentally got killed. So,
where were you gonna put her at the restaurant so JoJo could see her?
At the room that she was normally in, she sleeps in there. So, JoJo would see that she's sleeping there and can verify it, and, she's sick, so, and even if you ask her to take a polygraph, I don't know, ask a 6-year-old to take a polygraph, but a 6-year-old wouldn't lie like that, and so we didn't want JoJo to lie, so we want JoJo to see Ashley there.
Okay. So you take Ashley to the restaurant. How do you get Ashley from the apartment to the restaurant?
Put her in a car seat.
Did you carry her out to the car?
Yeah.
Did she have her jacket on?
Yes.
Okay. What color is your car?
It's a rental car. It's like black or dark gray.
Okay. So you drove that to the store. Was there a gentleman working on the roof?
Yes.
Okay. Your daughter, did you carry her in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They saw me.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there was 2 guys on the roof, working on the roof or something like that. And we brought her inside and we just laid her there. And we just continued our work. The plan was for JoJo to come home and see her there to verify that she's there, and then I would hide her up in on top of the walk-in freezer. And then when we called the police at night, JoJo could verify that she was there. So.
Did you guys also make some noise when we're going out the back door? Because JoJo said she thought she heard a noise and her sister might have went out the back door.
No. Now that JoJo, she's not a liar, but she's 6. And when you lean her towards something, that's where she goes. And she's not a liar. She doesn't lie to people, but she is 6. When you point her at a direction, that's where she's going to go.
Well, where was JoJo? Okay, so how long did you leave Ashley laying in the bed?
I got to the restaurant at 10 till about 7, 6 or 7.
Okay.
6 or 7. She was lying there. JoJo saw her, and she's sick. She can't tell the difference between someone that's no longer breathing and someone sleeping.
And what happened?
And then I moved her up, to the walk-in freezer. Put her in that plastic container so that she wouldn't stink.
What kind of container was it?
That was plastic, those busting containers for restaurants. And that's when we were going to call the police, and we were hoping that the police would come here, look, and ask us, we didn't expect this. We didn't know the procedure exactly what's going on, you know. We didn't know that I was going to come down here, take a polygraph. I was going to be asked so much questions. There was going to be so many people involved. If we knew that there was going to be like 100 people searching for maybe even more, I don't even know. I am so sorry.
What were your plans to do after maybe we quit looking for her? What were you going to do?
We don't really know. There was three things. I burn it, bury it, or throw it in the ocean. Those are the only three things that we can think of. And we know that. I think that's probably one of the reasons. You know, other than the fact that there's so many reasons why I told Randy what I told Randy. But one of the reasons is Randy mentioned it, and I know, I mean, you know, without him telling me, I know is if let's say that I went through with this and I didn't get caught, I'm going to be looking over my shoulder for I don't even know how long. You know, it's because there's a dead body there. You know, that I have to eventually get rid of. And if you put it in the ocean, the tides can wash it back. If you bury it, wild animals can get at it, someone can find it. If you burn it, there's a chance that someone's going to see you because it's going to be a big flame. You're not going to do it during the day, and you're going to be doing it during the night. So when you're burning a big flame at night, someone's going to see you. We thought about all of this, and honestly, we weren't really too sure on what to do after that.
You came back to this morning.
Yeah.
To light candles and a little
incense. Yes.
What was that for?
At appearance, it was for, you know, for you guys to hope that Ashley would get found, but you know, but really, I was praying that this would get resolved so that we would keep our family together. I was praying constantly, just my wife too, just praying that this would get resolved and our family can stay together.
Was everybody at the store when you put her in the salt bin?
You mean everybody, like myself, my wife, my daughter?
Your wife
yes.
and your daughter?
Yes, yes.
Where was your daughter?
My wife took my daughter to the front, and because she's eating, so she told her to go to the front. She was going to wiggle her teeth. Her first tooth was about to come out. And that's when I, you know, moved Ashley up there.
Did you and her wife both agree on putting her there in that container?
We talked about places, and I said this is probably the best place to do it. You know, it's well ventilated. I'm going to put salt in it. You're not going to be worried about temperature because it's cooler up there.
And it's up above where the panels are, right?
Yes.
Did you take a panel off?
That was already off. We keep stuff up there. There's like our wedding pictures and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. We keep a lot of stuff up there. It's like extra storage.
So it's extra storage. So then, how'd you get up her ladder?
Yeah.
The ladder. You carried her up?
Yes.
And put her body up there?
Yes.
Okay. Then what'd you guys do? Close the business for the night?
No, we called.
You called
the police.
Jackson?
Yes.
But you did this, what time did you say you put her in there, you thought?
6-something to 7, like 6:30 to 7.
And then you called us like at 8:15, or 8:09, I mean.
Yeah, so whatever is the time that's recorded.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you the rest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, this is being recorded, right?
Yes.
Okay. My wife, she's not a bad person. She's not. That's, I mean, you know, I married her. I wouldn't marry her if she was physically abusive in the beginning. You can see my daughter, my Jojo, she's 6 years old. We took care of both of us for 6 years. Not one time did my wife, like, physically abuse her, you know, out of anger or anything like that. You know, we spanked her, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
Correct her if
Yeah, yeah.
she did something wrong.
Yeah, but nothing like, oh, left bruises on her, all over the place that you found on Ashley. My wife is a good person. I know it's very hard to believe, seeing Ashley, but look at JoJo. Look at JoJo, she's a good person. She's a good mother. She just has problems. She has problems with Ashley because we got her when she was born. We didn't raise her. My mom raised her.
Okay.
For 4 years, and then we got her back a year ago, so she's 5. We raised. I only saw my daughter for a year. She's 5, so only one fifth of her life, more or less. I saw her when she was like 1.5 or about a month or 2. But both of us, we know my wife had this problem. In the beginning, when she started reacting like this to Ashley, not initially, not when she first came down, she was fine. I'll explain that too. But when she first started being like this to Ashley, I try to step in and stop it.
When did this start?
When my mom started telling my wife that she was doing it wrong. She was raising Ashley wrong.
Okay, how long ago was that?
About 1 month after Ashley came here. My mom came here to visit. We told her to stay away because we know, my mom knows that my wife had issues with her, and just need some time with Ashley to adjust. And we talk about this constantly, and that's why it's very fresh in my mind. But that's when it started, and when it started, it was not that big of a deal. But then my mom constantly, every which way. I know I sound like I'm placing blame, but I'm just telling you what happened.
Okay.
I know I sound like I'm placing blame from my wife's condition, but I'm just telling you what happened. That's at that one time. She came down, she visited, my wife let that go. That's fine. She was a little angered by that. She was a little pissed off about it. But then my wife would tell my aunt and my grandmother to tell my wife the same thing. My mom would do that and tell people to constantly check up on Ashley, make sure that she's okay, stuff like that. And it would just go on forever. It was up to a point where we had to tell my mom, stop calling us. Don't send people here anymore. Tell grandma, stop coming here. Because we've been here for 6 years. First couple of years, my grandma almost never comes. Nobody comes visit us. My mom never calls me, ever. Like, you can check my phone records. Pick up as much phone records as you like. I don't talk a lot with my mom. But then, when Ashley got here, constantly calling, you're doing this wrong, stuff like that, yada, yada, yada. So, that kind of got to my wife. Because, it's your own daughter, and then there's your mother-in-law telling you that you're not doing it right. You're not doing it what you're supposed to do. That's one thing. And another thing is that you look at your own daughter, and you got her, she's 4, she's not potty trained. She doesn't know her last name. She doesn't know if she's a boy or a girl. I know you can't verify that, but if you want, I can tell you, you can put me back on the machine, and I can tell you that I'm telling you the truth when I'm telling you these things. You can put me back on that machine, I can tell you that when I'm telling you these things, that she's not potty trained, she doesn't know her last name, and she doesn't know if she was a boy or a girl when we got her when she was born. And the list goes on and on with these things. And she knows she's a boy or girl now because we taught her, and we taught her her last name. But initially when we got her, she didn't. And that combined with the fact that my mom keeps telling my wife, she's doing it wrong. And then we see how Ashley was actually raised. The combination of the two just made my wife really angry. And the more my wife sees Ashley being that way, not be able to potty train, it just get her angry. And I tell my wife, just stop, just let it be. And both myself and my wife, we knew that something like this would happen eventually if Ashley wasn't sent away. But we couldn't send her with my mom because my mom will raise her like this again. So the plan was to send her to my wife's mom in China eventually. I was just hoping that, you know, it wouldn't come to this before we sent her away. And it would give my wife some time to balance out.
Well, why did you give her to your mom anyway?
She was my mom.
No, I mean, why didn't you raise Ashley yourself?
Oh, I was running a restaurant. Couldn't really take care of everything, so I trust my mom, you know, to raise my daughter.
Right.
And initially I told her to come down. I told her to bring Ashley down so that I could see her grow up and I could build up a relationship with her. But my mom refused for so long. You know, we kept telling her, kept calling her, and you know, she gave it a try when Ashley was about 1.5. That's when I saw her 1.5, and then you know she said she could live with me. So that's when she took Ashley away again. That's when I saw her again at 4.
How long has she been down there, since she was 4?
About a year. She's 5 now. She just turned 5. Not so long ago.
When did the abuse start with your wife and Ashley?
About a little bit after a month after she arrived. In the beginning, it was not that bad. It was like discipline, you know, trying to correct her, you know, like you got a potty in the toilet, you know, stuff like that, minor stuff. And the thing with Ashley was that she still doesn't know to potty in the bathroom. So that really gets my wife going because we have her for a year now. She still can't. She's still not potty trained.
So that was one of the things that really irritated your wife.
Yes, I mean, and then she was like everything that irritated my wife let go one after another. Okay, so she'd be potting on that, fine, let her go. You know, a couple of months, she's gonna be with my mom. I'll just buy diapers, take care of it, and hopefully she'll get away from me. She'll get a fresh start from my mom. You know, speak against my wife. And, you know, my mom would take care of her. Not my mom, my wife's mom. You know, my wife's mom would take care of her, and they'll have a fresh start, both of them. And my wife would have a fresh start. It's like, okay, just let that go. But then, you know, after she poops and potty on her diaper, she takes her diaper off. And that's what triggered that yesterday.
Well, okay, so when we were at your house yesterday, we asked where you sleep. Did Ashley sleep in the living room, or did she actually sleep in the other bedroom?
She sleeps in the living room because my wife, before it was different. Before it was we had the 2 rooms. The kids used to sleep in the big room, and we used to sleep in the little room. And we used to keep the junk in the living room.
Okay, and then the trunk of the rental car?
Yeah.
There was a big fuzzy bear.
Yeah.
Was there a reason for that to be in the trunk? There was one at home.
Oh, no, there's no reason. No, there's no psychological reason. It was just that we bought one for the kids, and it was on sale at Sam's Club. It was initially like $14.88, and it was on sale for $4.71, so we just bought an extra one. Like, this could make a good gift, you know. It was cheap. No, there's no reason for that.
I didn't know if they took it away from the house, so it wasn't. You know, I just didn't know why it was.
No, it was no psychological reasons. Like, okay, Ashley's bear needs to stay in the trunk, and JoJo's bear needs to stay, nothing like that. Yeah.
So let's back up. After Jackson came out to the restaurant last night and you filed a report, what did you guys talk about after the police left?
We were worried. I mean, same thing. I told you earlier. You know, constantly looking over our shoulder. You know, like, and just, you know, this thing on your chest. You wanna not worry about that stuff. You know, and we were talking about it, like worried constantly. Okay, are they gonna find her?
You want to be able to tell somebody what happened, so you don't have that burden, right?
Yeah, and we're just constantly worried, are they going to find her? You know, it's like, now what to do to find her? And I told my wife, if they find her, we're going to tell her everything.
What did your wife say about that?
Because my wife asked me what to do, and my wife, you know, I mean, she knows what we do. I mean, obviously we can't deny it. You know, that's just stupid. So, but...
Your wife told something to the other FBI agent, something about some black men coming into the...
Yeah, that she was trying to... That's true. That's true. The restaurant, or is it the apartment?
The restaurant.
That's true. It's all true. That's not a lie, but it's unrelated. It's unrelated. It's true, though. There was at a point, there's these two black guys who came to the restaurant twice, on 2 occasions, very separate apart, like a couple of months apart. And the only reason I remember them because they asked very unusual questions. We didn't think they were going to take our baby. We think they were going to rob us, like after a busy hour and before we close. Because they asked us, how long are you busy for? When do you stop being busy? What time do you close? And they asked the same questions a second time. And I think they changed their target because they probably thought, you know, we don't have much money here, it's not worth robbing. But that's the impression that I got. I was worried because they did that twice in like a span of a couple of months. You know, they came inside and asked, you know. And it was always like late at night when there's like no one around.
Getting back to the last night, you guys actually cooked and served meals while your daughter was laying there.
Yes.
And went on business as usual.
Yes.
And that was to keep JoJo from thinking anything bad was going on.
Yes.
Okay. That way, when she talked to us, she wouldn't lie to us about what she saw, or at least how she perceived it.
Yes. Is there anything else you would like to ask? And I'll answer everything.
Why didn't you ever report the abuse to law enforcement?
I was worried. You know, scared that this guy's going to take my wife away.
Well, how bad? I mean, what kind of abuse are we talking?
It's not like initially so bad. If it was initially so bad, I would probably report it, but just, you know, it worked.
Escalated?
Yeah, and then at that point I was like, she got so much bruises on her, I can't call it in anymore.
Well, would she twist her arm? Would she kick her? Would she hit her? What happened?
Well, pretty much all of it, you know, twist her arm, kick her, hit her.
But never touch JoJo?
No, not once. And not like, you know, oh, she just sees her and just pisses her off, you know, push her down the stairs or something. It's always when Ashley does something, and that's her trigger, you know. My mom tells my wife that she's raising kids wrong, and then every single time Ashley does something that reminds my wife of what my mom said, like, you know, her doing something not a 5-year-old should do, that's pretty much a trigger. It's like, you know, like Ashley would, it's weird, she would go like this. I'll show you. I don't have any weapons. And we try to get her to stand like normal, but before she would stand like this. I don't know why. I don't know where you get, I don't know what I don't know how Ashley did that, but my mom never corrected her that this is not how a person should stand. She would stand like this, on one feet, another one would heel up, and hands like this. We tell her to put both feet down, both hands down. And she would just do that. Pretty much, we correct her, she would do it, correct her, and do it. She would do it. A lot of things. There's a lot of things that we felt that my mom had her for 4 years, that she should correct these things because they're not normal. So, you know, every single time when Ashley would do something like that, it would trigger my wife because my wife would be reminded of what my mom said. I didn't report the abuse because I was afraid, the same thing that I'm afraid of now, that it was going to
split the family up.
Yes, I'm sorry. And we know that we know this for a long time that it was getting really bad, and we were going to send Ashley back to China with her mom, my wife's mom, and she would take care of her and give my wife some time to balance things out, that she wouldn't feel this inside of her head, inside of her heart. And, you know, we were thinking maybe 2 years it would take, how long my wife needs. That's when we bring Ashley back. Whatever time my wife needs to make her not feel this way inside her head, inside her heart, that's this anger towards my mom that she's projecting onto Ashley, you know, pretty much, whatever time she would need. But then, you know, we wanted to send her right away. My wife would call her mom and says, you know, screaming, you know, she can't take this anymore. But her mom is taking care of her brother's kids, you know, my wife's brother's kids. And we were going to wait until, because her brother was going to send her kids back to the United States because they're born here and they're old enough to go to school now. You know, he's working, he doesn't have time to take care of his kids, so he sends them back to China. But mom takes care of kids. She was going to send them here, and the arrangement was going to be, you know, not between, you know, it was understood that when he comes back, she would go. So, but that wasn't going to happen until a little later. When I was trying to hold down, and I didn't expect this to happen. You know, a couple of times she hit her head before on the carpet like that, and she comes out of it. This is the only time. Obviously, this is the first time, the last time that she didn't.
How many times would you say she's done that to her?
4 maybe.
Did she ever have a doctor's visit that did they ever, you know, she was not bruised or?
Yeah, we didn't take her to the doctor. We were afraid because the doctor would see that. You know, would see that, you know, she's bruised all over her body.
So she had that many bruises on her?
Yes.
So this, I mean, it was a daily thing then?
Not daily. Not daily. A couple of times a week. Not every single day. Because believe it or not, my wife does try to control herself. She did it with it daily. But there was periods where she tried to control herself a lot, and it will be like weeks before, you know, there will be periods, weeks, literally weeks.
Did you ever tell her she needs to knock it off?
I tried that.
She needs to stop?
I tried that, and she knows. And she knows she needs to stop, and I tried. But in the beginning, it seems like the more I try, it depends on the situation. Like if she's at that time where she's feeling that anger, and I tell her to stop, she gets even more angry.
This time, yesterday morning, this last time when she did it, what did your wife do after she
hit her head on
the floor?
She usually leaves, and then I go take care of her. But then, you know, as I mentioned, you know...
Did she leave this time?
Not like leave the apartment, but leave the living room.
Left the room. What'd she go do?
I don't know. I didn't see. I was trying to take care of Ashley. She probably went into the bedroom or the bathroom. But then I started noticing that she was throwing up the screen stuff, so both of us took Ashley to the bathroom, took care of her.
Did she say anything when she started throwing up?
No, not that I recall.
Never made any comments while you guys were cleaning her up and getting her dressed?
I'm going to try to remember. I'm going to try to be honest as I can, but right now I can't remember. Okay? So I'm trying to be honest as I can with you guys.
No,
right
I appreciate it.
Comments while she was going to the bathroom. I know she said something, but usually I don't listen to that kind of stuff. So I kind of tune it out for me to remember that.
Is it kind of negative? Is that what I mean?
Yes.
Negative towards Ashley?
I have no idea at the point because usually at that point I just tune out. So it could have been negative, it could have been neutral, but it's definitely not positive.
Sure you don't need something to drink?
No, I don't want to stop. I just want to finish.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
I don't know. I mean, if you need more, definitely, you know, come ask me. I'll tell you whatever you need to know.
Well, I think we covered everything.
If you think you missed something, feel free to, get in touch with me. I'll tell you whatever you need to know. Is it okay for me to ask a couple of questions, or you guys wouldn't be able to answer it? It's pretty much the same questions I tried to ask before. Would you be able to answer that? No? Oh, okay.
Just go ahead. I don't know what, I can't read your mind. I don't know what questions you're asking.
It's pretty much about the future. I know you can't tell the future, but being in law enforcement, I was hoping that maybe you can answer some of these questions for me.
We can try.
Okay. Do you know what's going to happen to my wife? I mean, I understand she's going to get locked up, but is it like a regular jail, or she's going to get institutionalized?
Well, it'll be regular jail.
I mean,
right now.
We'll just go to the regular jail.
It has to go through court and everything.
I think she needs some help. I think she needs some help.
Well, that'll be between her and her attorney and the judges. That's not for us to decide.
Yeah. And do you guys know how long I'm going to get locked up for? Approximately.
I don't know.
3 years? 3 years?
I don't know.
Are we talking like decades or years?
I can't be honest with you. I'm not sure. We need to talk to our prosecutor, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're going to do?
Do I have a choice on how JoJo is raised? Randy said that I can have her in foster care instead of being raised by my parents.
You don't want your family to come get her?
No, I don't want her to be raised by my parents.
Do you have any family close? No family at all? You want?
They're close, but I don't want them. I'm not close with my family.
Well, they'll probably go to see Child Protective Services right now, and that'll all be worked out later, and they will talk to you.
There's 2 people that possibly, but they don't know her. They saw her maybe like 2 times since she was born.
Are they relatives?
My sisters. They're okay people, but I still don't trust them. One of them I do, just that my mom is going to get so much access to her. I don't want that.
Well, then, I mean, and I'm sure CPS will talk to you about it, because,
Because I don't want JoJo. I mean, I know she's sick now. She's going to be probably not going to get affected by my mom like that, but still, I don't want my mom.
Do you have any intentions of hurting yourself?
No, I mean, I thought about it earlier. It's like, if I can't say anything, but I already told everything to him. So, I mean, I wanted to say it.
Don't you feel, you kind of feel
better,
don't you?
but I was thinking the same thing, like, if I just not be able to talk, I wouldn't feel that anymore either.
So you're not thinking about hurting yourself right now?
Not at the moment. I swear.
Okay. When you say not at the moment,
it
leads me to believe that you may later.
I don't know. I have to sort things out in my head.
Okay. All right. Stand up. I want to make sure you don't have any weapons or anything on you.
I patted him down and got a pocket knife earlier, but...
You got a bunch of pockets going on here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sunglasses. Inside there's keys, close. And here there's keys. Probably my wallet and stuff like that. I took it out when I was talking to Randy.
So the only 2 people that know about what happened is you and your wife?
Huh?
The only 2 people that know what happened
Yes.
is you and your wife? You didn't call anybody?
No. My wife asked if we should call somebody from about it too. I don't want to get anybody involved.
Call somebody as in what? To get rid of her?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, would you know somebody to call to do that?
No. And even if we did, it would have been up in the same situation, more or less.
Good.
to choose how JoJo is going to be raised.
I would think that Children's Services is going to contact you. I would think. I mean, they don't want to keep families apart, but if there's a reason for your,
I don't want my mom to have contact with my daughter.
okay.
It's not that she's a bad person. It's just what happened with Ashley.
Yeah.
I'm very afraid that she's going to raise JoJo the same way.
What's your wife's name again?
Ming Ming. M-I-N-G. I know I might have asked you this already, but am I going to be able to see my daughter and my wife before I go to jail?
I'm sorry, because she's probably going to be both your wife is, and we can't bring your daughter here. It wouldn't be fair to her to be like this.
That's why I told her I'm supposed to leave them before I tell them everything. You know what's happening to my wife right now?
No, I haven't heard from him.
Jail, or am I going to be allowed to take care of my personal stuff? As I mentioned, you can send someone to watch me if you want to make sure that I don't kill myself or something. But am I going to be allowed to take care of my personal stuff?
No, actually, your both personal places are crime scene right now. Because the killing her in the apartment and taking her then they're both a crime scene, so you wouldn't be allowed in them anyway.
All right, we're going to switch rooms. Walk over here.
I need to take that chair out.
No, I'll get it later. Just shut that light out.
A judge would set their bonds at $5 million each, as they were both considered high flight risks. Liang pled guilty to 2 counts of child endangerment, corpse abuse, obstruction of justice, and evidence tampering. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison on January 10, 2018. Ming Ming was charged with felonious assault and murder, and on her October 12th hearing, she would plead not guilty by reason of insanity, but would later change her plea to involuntary manslaughter, and was ultimately sentenced to 22 years in prison. Chen was, in fact, an illegal immigrant, having come to USA as a teenager, and will be deported back to China after her release.
And we got busy, and then after it got busy, we started cleaning up, and then, we opened the door, and she's not here.
New tonight, a long sentence for a North Canton mom who admits to murder. In that call you just heard, 5-year-old Ashley Zhao was reported missing last January by her parents. Then, days later, police found the little girl's body hidden inside her parents' Chinese restaurant. Their faces made headlines nationally as investigators learned that Ming Ming Chen killed Ashley with blows to her head and convinced her husband to hide the body. Liang Zhao testified against his wife in agreement or exchange for a 12-year sentence. Chen is not a U.S. citizen, and Don Kendrick, you're telling us that played a factor in today's sentencing of Ming Ming Chen.
It did, absolutely. The judge decided 22 years behind bars, but then said she will, after she serves that, be sent back to China, to answer your question. But she is getting 22 years. She's 29-year-old. Ming Ming Chen doesn't bring her daughter back, though, that sentence. The 5-year-old who complete strangers mourned for after police found her body concealed inside her parents' restaurant.
It was the victim, 5-year-old Ashley Zhao, who was weighing heavily on the heart of Judge Chris Hartnett. Almost a year ago, police found her little body at Ang's Asian Cuisine, her parents' restaurant in North Canton. Her mother, Ming Ming Chen, who originally reported Ashley as missing, heading to prison today for her death.
That I would sentence you to a total period of 22 years.
22 years under a negotiated guilty plea agreement. The sentence could have been 30 years. Chen's attorney said today that his client, quote, doesn't make any excuses.
I do believe that my client wanted to be a loving mother to her 2 children. There's a tremendous amount of pressure that was put upon this couple and led to violence in the home.
Stark County Judge Chris Hartnett told Chen, quote, 100 years is not enough.
A child should be able to rely upon a parent for their protection, for their safety, for their love. And in this case, I find it difficult to imagine the horror for your child, Ashley. The horror of being beaten by her own mother. And I use the word mother with great pain, I find, when talking to you. It's insulting to mothers who do what they are supposed to do for their children.
Through a translator, Chen told the judge she is, quote, apologetic for what happened, especially to my daughter.
I will perform very well in jail. And I want to be a good person. Thank you.
John Ferrero, Stark County prosecuting attorney, today said, quote, this was not an act of premeditated murder, nor was it an act in which Ming Ming Chen purposely caused the death of young Ashley Zhao. Therefore, this case never qualified, he says, for the death penalty under the laws of the state of Ohio. Judge Hartnett not mincing words today, though, when she told Chen, and this is a quote, the only consolation I have is that she is far better off without you as a parent. Chen, by the way, as we mentioned, is also in this country illegally and was in the process of being deported before all of this even happened. Ferrero says he expects her to be deported to China after she serves her 22 years.
The more details we learn about this, the more devastating even it becomes.
Right, and I was really struck by the judge. You could tell that little girl was so on her heart. And you know, we talk about the sentence and we talk about all the details. The fact is it doesn't bring her back. It's just tragic.
Thank you for watching or listening. For those of you new to the channel, this is a new venture for me. A series I'm hoping will be successful in filling in the gaps between full productions of something criminal. I'm hoping to release a new interrogation at least every 2 weeks, although that might be an ambitious timeline. This format is new to me, and as this series evolves, I'm entirely open to suggestions on how to improve. The things you liked, the things you didn't. Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, liking the video and subscribing helps this channel in monumental ways. Both are free and pushes me higher on YouTube's strange algorithm, helping this small channel reach a larger audience. I have a Patreon, home to my wonderful producers. There, I try to keep my patrons up to date on episodes, post the odd poll, and make sure to talk and respond personally to every one of my members. Membership is only about the cost of a cup of coffee a month. And as this channel grows, so will my Patreon, more than just home to content YouTube blacklists or photos and videos that can't make a full-length episode. Until next time, thank you once again for joining me for this premiere episode of Under Fire.